Okay, following on from Baldy's little introduction yesterday, I thought I'd better do a little trial video of my own, just to prove I am a real Baldy. As you can see there from the baldness, I'll just put this back on. So I'm going to do a little tour of what is the commonly known as the back garage. There are some things in there that I really do like. Being this, I guess you can see that. And some things that I am not quite so keen on. And that's what I'm going to try and video today. There it is, the world's most unpopular car. Now you're all looking at this and thinking, yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with it. It's him. It's him. He can't do it. He can't do it right. And I don't know, partly agree with you. But I tell you what, this car has hated on every single person that has owned it. Someone before me had it. He didn't really have a great deal of success with it. I don't think he did more than about 3 miles. But it wasn't on the back of some sort of trailer. And I've pretty much done the same. I think it's been round the block maybe 3 times. And now there's another problem with it, was it won't now change down from 3rd to 2nd. So we've got to sort out a new gearbox for that. I'm going to try it when it gets running again. I think Baldy's going to come in the new year. And we're either going to get it going or we're going to set fire to it, I think is one of the other options. So as you can see, the sun ain't knocking out, this is the rarer 2-door version. Personally, can't see what all the fuss is about, but hey ho, they're more popular than the 4 doors. So there you have it. What's particularly unusual about this car, apart from the fact it doesn't work ever, is this. This apparently is rare. It's called a split bench front seat. Possibly only 2 known in the club. I couldn't tell you whether it's comfortable enough or not, because I've never sat in it long enough to drive it. So underneath there, you can see one of the latest problems that I've resolved. That is the ignition barrel decided didn't want to play anymore, so that's a new one of those. Can't remember why this is off. There probably is a reason. Something no doubt screwed up on it after the window stopped going up and down. But yeah, that's off, and I can't really remember why. This steering column is off because there's so much slack in the gear change, column change there, which is another reasonable rarity, is that it bangs into it and you can't change gear with it on. So that needs some more therapy, and it's on the list. So the paintwork on this is fairly reasonable, to be fair. It does respond really well to this. Never really used it on anything else before. This works really good on dark colours, but doesn't really make a lot of difference to lighter colours like that. We'll talk about that later. So yeah, all in all, paintwork does come up. I've got a new rubber to put in there and insert. It came from a well-known rubber supplier, which I think we all know who they are. So the chances of getting it in without a sledgehammer is going to be remote. So in here is the 1500 pre-crossflow engine from my green Corsair, which I took out. Obviously, the plan was to run this, get it going nice, sort out all the problems, and then put it back in my green car. I'll probably put a little photo of that somewhere here. But that hasn't happened. The engine does run. It's a bit lumpy. It goes okay. As I say, we've got problems with the gearbox. The original engine for it, the 1500, is under here somewhere. That makes a funny noise when it's running, strange tapping noise. So obviously we need to get the bottom of that. So that eventually is going to go back in there. That's all been freshly rebuilt. But yeah, as if the general keeping of the car, it's been less than successful, and it's been a total pain in the bum. So going around it, it does have some uses. It is excellent for keeping hold of towels and rags. I can fully recommend it for that. And it's also pretty good for keeping camping gear on. It's quite exceptional, that, to be fair. And there's one bit that I saw this morning that really sort of made me chuckle and says everything about this car in one single view. There we go. Look at that. And I can't, that in itself, that photo alone says everything. So you might have noticed there, it's got a Northern Ireland plate. There is some history to it. I think one of the guys in the club did track down the original number. Doesn't really make any odds to me, to be honest with you. It's what it is. It's a bit unusual, but you're starting to see more cars from Northern Ireland these days than ever. So the wheels are my original white wall tyres off my green car when I bought it 25 years ago. So they're basically just rollers. They've got pretty hard now, to be honest with you, and it does feel like you've got power steering, because they are that hard and they are really skinny. So I've got it on them dollies, so obviously I can shove it around a bit. It has got a variety of names. Most of those I can't repeat. There is some grot there. I don't know why that's getting worse, because the car's obviously never sees daylight, so I'm not really sure why that is festering. But again, that may have to go on the list if I can sort the paint out. But to be fair, the interior of the car is pretty decent. Quite like them seats. As I said, I don't know how comfortable they are. I hope to find out one day. So they're pretty decent there. Carpet is not original, but it's pretty decent condition. And there's two dials there because the temperature gauge doesn't work. I know you'd be surprised to hear that. And I had to rob the oil pressure gauge out of something else, but it had about 35 psi running from memory. I put that radio in there just because it had a big hole in it. So it's a reasonably period correct radio, and looks better than the hole, arguably. And they say there. So as a summary, I am hoping to feel a bit more love for this car as time goes on. As I say, it's not a horrible looking thing. There is just something about it. Baldy says that it's possessed. I can't find any evidence to disagree with him, to be perfectly honest with you. As I say, it's all there. It is the lesser spotted, possibly a little bit overrated two-door version. As I say, the engine's out the green car, and the plan was to run that up and see how we went, but we failed with that also. So, as I say, hopefully we'll get somewhere with it in the new year, and I'm trying to find a little bit of love somewhere for it. Other than that, it's getting torched.